Shah Hamdan Mir Sayyid Ali Hamdani was not only a great religious leader and preacher, but also a great social thinker and reformer. His fame and influence transcends the boundaries of Tajikistan and spread over Central and South Asian region from Kulob to Kashmir. This is a mausoleum that connects two countries, India and Tajikistan, with deep-rooted historical and cultural ties. The Indian President Pratibha Patil arrived here to pay her respects at the mausoleum of Mir Sayyid Ali Hamdani, the great Sufi saint credited with propagation and spread of Islam in the Kashmir Valley. The President's visit to the mausoleum was the first by an Indian dignitary, and the Indian side said that it had been drawn up to emphasize the close civilizational ties between the Tajiks and Indians, especially the Kashmiris. Even today, thousands congregate at the Shah Hamdan Mosque in Srinagar to commemorate the saint's death anniversary. Also known as Khonkhoya Mohalla, the mosque, which stands on the banks of river Jhelum in Kashmir, was built by Sultan Sikandar. Sayyid's mausoleum was built in the center of Kulob city in Tajikistan. Mir Sayyid's son Muhammad, sisters, relatives, as well as the former custodian of the mausoleum and mosque, Sheikh Shohi Tolikhwani from the Afghan town of Tolikhwa, are also buried here. The mausoleum was built from baked bricks and consists of a domed structure with asymmetric design. The main entrance is on the southeast side. The central room with the portal entrance and dual dome in its northeast section is the core of the structure and the oldest part dating back to the late 14th century. The building of the mausoleum is a traditional medieval structure. Originally, it had 3 portal entrances with the domed hall decorated with carved decor. In the 1970s, the mausoleum was restored. During the restoration works, the masters tried to preserve the original shape. Near the mausoleum, there is one more marble gravestone of Amir Muhammad Preef Shah Abdullah, the son of Khatlaw ruler, with inscriptions in Arabian and Persian languages. A mosque and shrine were later added to the existing building. The mausoleum is now a place of pilgrimage for the local population and visitors from other regions of the country. Mir Sayyid Ali Hamdani was born in a noble and educated family in Hamadan. He was intelligent and quick of mind and read the Quran under the care of his maternal uncle, Hazrat Alauddin. From Hazrat Alauddin too, he took his lessons on various subjects, both outer and intrinsic, for a period of 13 years. Hazrat Alauddin then entrusted him to Sheikh Abul Barkat for spiritual training.
Hazrat Sayyidina Imam Hussain Shahi Karbala Raziyallahu Ta'ala Anhu के अहफाद से थे। आपके वालिद बुजुर्गवार सैयद शहाबुद्दीन हमदानी का सिलसिले नसब हज़रत इमाम हुसैन अलैहिस्सलाम पर मुंतही होता है और आपकी वालिदा मोहतरमा हज़रत फ़ातिमा का सिलसिले नसब हज़रत इमाम हसन मुज्तबा रज़ी अल्लाह तआला अन्हु पर मुंतही होता है। इस लिहाज से आप सैयद नजीबुत्तरफ़ैन थे। 7 साल की उम्र में कुरान शरीफ हिफ्ज़ किया और सलूक के इब्तिदाई इल्म रूहानियत के इब्तिदाई असबाब अपने मामू अलाउद्दीन सिमनानी से हासिल किए और चंद साल के अंदर अंदर हज़रत शाह हमदान ने तमाम इस्लामी उलूम के दर्स तदरीस से फरागत पाई और हज़रत शेख अखीली दोस्ती अबुल बरक़ात हज़रत शेख मोहम्मद आज़कानी और हज़रत शेख शरफुद्दीन महमूद मुस्तफ़ानी की बैयत करके सिलसिले आलिया कुबरवी से वाबस्ता हुई। इस सिलसिले के बानी हज़रत शेख नजमुद्दीन अहमद कुबरा रहमतुल्लाह अलैह हैं, जिनका रोज़ा तुर्कमेनिस्तान में है।
He belonged to the Kubrawiya order and received the role of the spiritual heir from Muhammad Azani. Syed Ali Hamdani was a prolific traveller in his times and travelled far and wide throughout the Muslim world. Muhammad Azani ordered him to go to Muhammad Mizdekani. Sheikh Mahmud Mizdekani, a renowned saint of the time, put him to severe tests and inculcated in him virtues of humility. Mahmud Mizdekani had said to him, "Travel about the world, meet the saints, draw benefits from them as much as you can." Hence, Syed Hamdani undertook the Hajj thrice and travelled for 21 years. During these journeys, he saw different countries and met the Islamic scholars and other holy men.
हज़रत शाह हमदान अजीम शख्सियत के हामिल थे। वो बैक मुफस्सिर, मुहद्दिस, फ़क़ीह, सूफ़ी, शायर, फ़लसफ़ी, सियासतदान और शेख तरीक़त थे। उन्होंने कश्मीर के अलावा बहुत से अतराफ अकनाफ में इस्लाम की इशाअत फरमाई।
In 1772, he decided to settle in Kotlan, present-day Kulob in Tajikistan, and he made successive journeys from there to Kashmir. He was the one who lit the torch of monotheism in the valley of Kashmir. According to some historians, he is said to have quarrelled with the then ruler of Tajikistan, Amir-e-Temur, and so moved to Kashmir with 700 Syeds and his followers during the reign of King Shahab-ud-Din. Before leaving for Kashmir, he had already sent two of his followers, Syed Taj-ud-Din Samnoni and Mir Syed Hasan Samnoni, to take stock of the situation. The king and heir apparent, Qutbuddin, received him warmly. The king became the follower of Mir Syed Hasan Samnoni, and because of the king's concurrence, his fame spread all over Kashmir. Shah Hamdan started the propagation movement of the Islam in Kashmir in an organized manner. He stayed there for 6 months and left it. His room where he stayed for the first time is a part of a great building named as Khongkhwai Mohalla, rose by Sultan Sikandar. It is a beautiful model of wooden architecture of Kashmir with engravings on walls. Friday prayers are said here where hundreds gather to pray.
Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar.
The sacred relics include the Prophet's flag, the pillar of the Prophet's tent, and Shah Hamdan's walking stick. During his life, the place acquired the distinction of being the center of the spiritual light. People revere the place, and some call it the second Kaaba out of extreme devotion. Second time, Mir Syed visited Kashmir in 781 Hijri when Qutbuddin was the ruler. This time, he stayed for a year and tried to extend the movement to every nook and corner of Kashmir. He returned to Turkestan via Ladakh in 783 Hijri. third time, he visited in 785 Hijri with the intention to stay for a longer period, but had to return earlier owing to illness. It is said that during his travels he met 1,400 saints and made numerous followers. The Valley of Kashmir was fortunate, for he decided to make it the center of his activities. His greatest contribution was that he synchronized the intrinsic with the Sharia.
हज़रत शाह हमदान एक अजीम मुफक्किर थे, दाई थे। मैंने पहले ही कहा, वो बैक वक्त मुहद्दिस भी थे, मुफस्सिर भी थे, फ़क़ीह भी थे, शायर भी थे और फ़लसफ़ी भी थे। लेकिन जब हम जान कर इसमें देखते हैं तो ये नजर आता है कि वो हज़रत सल्लल्लाहु अलैहि वसल्लम जिस तरह मुहसिन इंसानियत थे, और हज़रत शाह हमदान ने इंसानियत का यही पैगाम इससे अख़ज़ करके तमाम दुनिया तक पहुँचाया था। मसलन मैं एक मिसाल देता हूँ, क्योंकि वो उनकी शख्सियत अजीम थी, उनके बेशुमार दुश्मन थे, लेकिन वो हर शहर को ये दुआ मांगते थे, हर तिमारा रंजदाद राहत बिस्यार बात, ए अल्लाह जिसने मुझे तकलीफ पहुँचाई आप उसको राहत अता फरमा। हर तिमारा यार नबवत इज़्ज़त गोरा यार बात, ए मेरे रब जो मेरा दोस्त नहीं है आप उसका दोस्त बन जाओ। हर किधर राहे मरा खारे निहत दुश्मनी, जिस शख्स ने मेरे रास्तों पर कांटे बिछाए, हर गुले कस्बाज उम्र बिशुत बेकार बात, ए मेरे अल्लाह उसकी ज़िंदगी में कभी कांटों के साथ वास्ता न हो। ये उनका पैगाम था। यानी वो एक अजीम मुफस्सिर मुहद्दिस मुबल्लिग के बावजूद एक अजीम इंसान थे।
Hazrat Mir Sayyid Ali, besides being a mystic saint and an effective preacher, was a man of letters and wrote about 100 books and pamphlets in Arabic and Persian. Zakiratul Malik, his famous book on political science and national administration, has been translated in many languages. Some of his famous books are
से बाहर की जो लिटरेचर है, चाहे वो किसी भी मौजू पर था, यूरोप के तूफानों में उन्होंने उसको खंगाल कर रखा था और बड़ी बड़ी शख्सियात के मुतालिक अपने तासुरात अपनी तसानीफ में नोट किए। जावेदनामा में आपने हज़रत शाह हमदान का तारुफ यूँ ही कराया, उन्होंने तस्नीफ़ तारीफ के मैदान में भी कदम रखा और तकरीबन 200 से ज़ायद किताबें लिख डाली, जिनमें ज़ख़ीरतुल मलूक भी शामिल है। इसमें आपने निज़ाम मुस्तफ़ा और मुसलमान बादशाहों को सल्तनत के आदाब सिखाए और एक नज़रिए पेश किया कि इस्लामी सल्तनत कैसी होनी चाहिए।
Shah Hamdan was a multi-dimensional personality. He was a social reformer besides being a preacher. He brought substantial reforms in the lives of ordinary Kashmiris and helped them in getting rid of practices like black magic and sati. Amongst the 700 followers who accompanied him to Kashmir were men of different arts and crafts, and they helped Kashmir people learn and practice them. They popularized carpet and shawl making, wood carving, cloth weaving, carpet making, pottery and calligraphy. Thanks to Shah Hamdan and his great team of followers, Kashmir is now world famous for its beautiful carpets and shawls with their intricate designs and patterns. The shawl and carpet making has become a thriving industry in Kashmir. Wood carving has also become one of the flourishing industries here. Several thousands of people in Kashmir depend on this industry for their living. These items are exported all over the world at very high prices. They are admired and very highly valued by the people of elite class and real connoisseur of arts and crafts. The great Indian poet Allama Iqbal admits that Shah Hamdan turned Kashmir into a mini Iran and brought about a revolution in the thinking process of the people. In this regard, Shah Hamdan has been perhaps one of the principal historical figures who have shaped the culture of Kashmir. His influence on arts and culture and the economy of the valley is very widespread and deep-rooted. On return from his third visit to Kashmir, he reached Kinnar via Pikhanli and was received as a royal guest in Tajikistan. He fell ill there and died after 5 days on 6th Zilhajj 786 Hijri. He was buried in Kwatla province, where his shrine still stands today. Right in the center of Kulob, surrounded by century-old sycamores, is this mausoleum of the prominent 14th century poet, philosopher and thinker. While Mir Syed Ali's shrine in Kulob is a revered place of pilgrimage, he is also celebrated in his native Hamdan. His status as a saint is even higher in the Indian subcontinent, especially Kashmir.
उनके सिलसिले के साथ लाखों लोग वाबस्ता हुए। अलबत्ता कश्मीर को उन्होंने अपना तबलीगी महवर और मरकज़ बनाया। यही वजह है अहले कश्मीर उनको मुहसिन कश्मीर के नाम से याद करते हैं, बानी इस्लाम कहते हैं और उनके एहसानात को हमेशा याद रखते हैं। हज़रत शाह हमदान ने पूरी दुनिया की सयाहत की और वो खत्ता भी उसमें शामिल है। अगर जो हमदान से 500 किलोमीटर दूर वाक़ा है ताजिकिस्तान में, जहाँ उनका रोज़ा है खतरान शरीफ, वो अजीम जगह थी। उसका असली नाम था कड़े अली शाह। वहाँ पहुँचकर ही उन्होंने फरमाया था, नमाज पढ़ी कि इस ज़मीन की मिट्टी मुझे दामन गिर हुई और हुज़ूर सल्लल्लाहु अलैहि वसल्लम ने बशारत दी कि आपका आखिरी करारगाह यही होगा। यही वजह है जब वो आखिरी सफ़र पर कश्मीर से वापस निकले हज बैतुल्लाह की नीयत से, तो पखली में उन्होंने इंतकाल फरमाया। लेकिन बाद में 6 महीने के बाद उन्हें मुताबिक वसीयत इसी सरजमीन ये पूला ताजिकिस्तान, जहाँ आज उनका रोज़ा है खतनान शरीफ में पहुँचाया गया और वहीं उनका बहुत बड़ा मज़ार मुक़द्दस है। हमारी वादी में मशहूर मुहद्दिस इब्न हजर मक्की के शागिर्द और इमाम रब्बानी मुतअस्सिसानी शेख हमद सदनी के उस्ताद हज़रत मौलाना शेख याकूब सर्फी रहमतुल्लाह अलैह ने उस मज़ार की ज़ियारत की है और फरमाया है, मुशर्रफ शुदा फ़कीर हक़ीर बताओ मज़ार अमीर कबीर।
Shah Hamdan is a popular personal name in Kashmir, and many religious institutions are also called Shah Hamdan after him. The now cult figure of great Muslim saint Shah Hamdan or Mir Syed Ali Hamdani will always be remembered for his great contributions in Islamic theology and philosophy, and for the spread of arts and science. He is a bright spiritual link between Tajikistan and India, the two countries with great history and culture. His teachings will remain as a shining source of spiritual light for his followers in these two countries.
इसकी तहजीब नूरानी, इसकी तारीख पुरानी, सुन लो दुनिया वालों सुन लो, हम सब हैं ताजिकिस्तानी।
इसकी तहजीब नूरानी, इसकी तारीख पुरानी, सुन लो दुनिया वालों सुन लो, हम सब हैं ताजिकिस्तानी, तेरा दिल ताजिकिस्तानी।
निकल पड़े हैं दुनिया में हम, अमन का परचम थामे,
अमन का परचम थामे।
सुन लो दुनिया वालों सुन लो, हम सब हैं ताजिकिस्तानी।
इसकी तहजीब नूरानी, इसकी तारीख पुरानी, सुन लो दुनिया वालों सुन लो, हम सब हैं ताजिकिस्तानी।